Who's this?
My daughter.
Come here. Closer.
How come you never look at my face when we do it?
You.
Tickle.
Welcome to Screen Recaps, and today we are going to recapping the movie Beautiful Kate. Ned and his fiancée Tony drive to Ned's childhood home. When they near their destination, Tony removes her name tag and asks Ned to introduce her as an actress to his family. Suddenly, the car hits a kangaroo, making Tony scream. Ned assures her it's just a kangaroo before they get out to inspect the damage. After moving the kangaroo carcass, they soon arrive at the house where Ned's sister Sally greets them. Since their father Bruce is asleep, Ned and Tony go to Ned's old bedroom. Before sleeping, Ned visits his late twin sister Kate's empty bedroom. In the morning, Ned reminisces about Kate, who used to tease and tickle him. He playfully tickles Tony, but takes things further intimately. When Bruce wakes, Ned and Tony meet him. Bruce is dying from heart disease, but refuses treatment to prolong his life by months. Tony finds a photo of Kate, but mentioning her makes Bruce and Ned quiet. Alone, Sally confronts Ned about bringing Tony when Bruce is dying and needs family. Feeling guilty, Ned changes topics and asks if Sally will stay after Bruce dies. She reveals the bank owns the house in Bruce's workshop. Items are their only inheritance. Sally shows Ned the dried-up dam where Kate fearlessly swam despite leeches. At lunch, Tony asks about Kate, but Sally says she's gone. Ned joins them as Sally explains Kate was his twin. Tony jokes about Ned's lack of good looks, but Bruce defends Ned's attractiveness, joking Ned is weak for women. They pass the barn where young Ned found his brother Cliff's body. When Tony asks how Kate died, Ned tersely explains it was a car accident. Disappointed by the workshop's value, Ned overhears Bruce sobbing at night but can't comfort him. In the schoolroom, Ned finds Cliff's childhood rodeo medal and decides to write about his past. He admits Cliff's death has haunted him and blames Bruce. The next day, Sally leaves a note that she's at the clinic, leaving Ned to care for Bruce. Ned continues writing instead. He recalls Bruce berating Cliff for losing a scholarship to another student while Kate defended Cliff. Bruce interrupts Ned, who lies he's working on a book. Ned reminds Bruce that Cliff crashed avoiding a kangaroo, killing Kate. As Bruce asks why Ned fled after the accident, Tony calls for Ned, who ignores his father's anger at being walked out on. Ned helps Tony practice mechanical bull riding, remembering his crush Tamara riding a bull at a festival. Kate slapped Ned for showing interest in Tamara, who invited Ned to dance. Kate returned on a motorcycle, interrupting them. Bored, Tony watches TV until Sally offers coffee. Tony jokes about being the servant, offending Sally. Guilty, Tony apologizes, but Sally says she would have left Ned and Bruce. Sally gives Ned instructions and takes a break at Tony's suggestion. The next day, Tony makes Ned entertain her since he dragged her there. When she tempts him sexually, he gives in, but threatens to stop if she's too loud. Tony raises her voice to alert Bruce, so Ned stops. Tony asks why he avoids eye contact during sex. Ned reminds her they're getting married but promises he loves her. They become intimate again, but Ned struggles to perform while facing her, so Tony leaves, frustrated. With Bruce's alarm blaring, Ned is burning workshop items at the old dam. Bruce falls trying to get up until Tony helps, tending to him despite her hatred of the situation. Bruce smells smoke as he opens the window, so Tony explains that Ned is having a bonfire outside. Disapproving of his son's actions, Bruce wonders why Ned's fiancée is still marrying him when she could be pursuing her Hollywood acting dreams instead. This pleases the woman, as her lifelong ambition is to become an actress. When Ned returns home, he overhears his fiancée flirting with his father and hinting at her plan to leave Ned. However, Bruce applauds her acting skills, and Ned realizes she is simply rehearsing lines for an upcoming audition. This assures Ned of his father's loyalty. Ned then retires to the bedroom, recalling an awkward encounter with his sister Kate. He had accidentally seen her without a shirt, prompting her to yell at him to leave. Later, she joined him in the bedroom, grieving the loss of her youth and lamenting growing old and unattractive. Seeking comfort, Kate asked Ned to tickle her back like when they were children. As Ned traced her back, he heard Kate crying and mourning their late mother. Ned tried to comfort his sister, but their closeness accidentally aroused him. Mortified, he apologized, and Kate left the room. In the present, Ned prepares a nice dinner for his fiancée, only for her to discover his old writings about the encounter with Kate. Assuming the story is true, the furious woman confronts Ned about his sordid past. When she slaps him, Ned reflexively hits her back, then quickly apologizes. However, she storms off. Alone, Ned recalls what happened after the incident with Kate. Racked with shame, he hid in the barn. Kate found him and insisted they pretend it never happened. Years later, Ned awakes to hear a car driving off. Realizing his fiancée left, a distraught Ned confronts his father, but ends up driving into a ditch. The next morning, a remorseful Ned returns to care for Bruce. As Bruce recovers, he remains haunted by Kate's death, imagining her cries for help during the accident. After her intimate encounter with Ned, Kate acted normally, but Ned felt racked with guilt. Hoping to avoid Kate, Ned volunteered for farm repairs, angering his other brother Cliff. In the present, Ned finds Bruce struggling to breathe after removing his own pillows. Bruce refuses Ned's help, resenting being left in his estranged son's care. Despite Ned's patience, Bruce remains angry at his lack of care. When Kate surprised Ned after he slept at the farm, his patience was tested. She revealed Cliff was grounded for coming home late from work, so she offered to help Ned instead. Though he allowed her to drive him back, Ned refused her invitation to hang out, knowing he was avoiding her. Kate promised Cliff would join them to protect Ned, angering him that she could joke about their encounter. Offended, Kate drove off without him. That Christmas, Ned skipped the town party, but Kate called claiming Cliff wanted to see him. At the barn, Ned feared Kate told Cliff what happened between them, but she apparently blamed Ned for making advances. Feeling guilty, Ned provoked Cliff to beat him, seeming to punish himself. After Cliff punched him, the brothers fought until Kate fetched their father. Bruce kicked his sons apart and, believing Kate's lie, blaming Ned, ordered him to escort her to the party and home after. Seeing Kate kiss Cliff's head and mouth, Ned realized she had orchestrated his punishment. Ned writes his memoirs, but stops when Bruce calls for Kate. Correcting him, Ned says Sally will return later. Bruce assumes Ned will leave then, but Ned wants to finish writing first, admitting it's an autobiography. Bruce wonders what Ned wrote about him. Later at the dry dam, Bruce acknowledges his children don't care for him. He tried to fill their mother's role after she died, but didn't know how. He knows Ned blames him for Cliff's death, so Bruce explains he was tough on Cliff, knowing the world would be rough on him. Remembering that party, Ned recalls how Kate flirted and suggested they go somewhere private. He refused and kissed Tamara instead, making Kate cry. After getting intimate with Tamara, Ned happily drove home alone, only to find Cliff's crashed car with Kate's body inside. The next day, Ned found Cliff's body hanging in the barn. When Sally returns home, Ned announces finishing his book and offers to bring Bruce dinner. Sally discourages this, revealing she also witnessed Ned and Kate's encounter. She explains Cliff experienced the same guilt, which is why he committed suicide, unable to bear his relationship with Kate while blaming himself for her death. Overwhelmed, Ned tells his father he left Kate for Tamara, admitting his weakness for women, taking the blame for Kate's death. He also confesses Bruce should have been tougher on Cliff, forcing Ned to drive Kate home instead. Sobbing, Ned apologizes for hating and blaming his father. Bruce comforts his son, reconnecting. In the morning, Bruce has passed away. After the wake, Sally shows Ned the children she cares for, proud of her achievements, unlike Kate. Ned burns his manuscript, letting go of the past, and embraces Sally before parting ways. Seeing Tony's name tag in his car, Ned wonders if he can patch things up